David Alorka back with the one and only legendary Mr. Gareth A. Davies. It's fight week. That's right, and today we're in a legendary venue, aren't we, Gareth?
We are. We're in the York Hall, Bethnal Green, one of the historic homes of British boxing. This is where professional boxing began 150 years ago, where they put the studded boots away
Let 'em know.
and the bare fists. And we are here. It's a celebratory week for British boxing because Vasyl Lomachenko, regarded as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world by many people, fights for the vacant WBC lightweight title and 2 of the lightweight belts he already holds against Luke Campbell of Hull. They're both Olympic gold medalists who won just down the road in East London here. So it's a massive week. It's a huge card. You know, we've got Hughie Fury against Alexander Povetkin.
Let him know.
Joe Cordina defending the British and Commonwealth lightweight titles.
Yes.
Joshua, he's going to join us in a minute. Joshua Buatsi facing the Canadian Ryan Ford. And we've got other fights on the card. Who are the other ones?
Mr. Charlie Edwards,
Charlie Edwards,
WBC World Champion versus Julio Cesar Martinez.
Aguilar. We'll have a bit of Spanish later.
But
we're here all week. We're doing the usual thing. Workouts tonight, and we'll see all of these fighters and speak to them. Then we'll press conference tomorrow where we'll meet everyone, and then we'll do the weigh-ins on Friday, and then we'll do the big one at the O2 Arena on Saturday night.
You better believe it. Listen, for all of you guys watching on IFL TV as well, thanks a lot for joining. Like Gareth said, we're going to be here all week. Press conferences coming live tomorrow as well, and we're going to be speaking to every single fighter on the card,
including Mr. Joe Cordina.
Yes.
How are you, Joe?
You missed the Welsh Wizard though. So yeah, I'm good, thank you very much.
I did miss that, and it was remiss of me, and I apologise. Let's step right in here, boys.
Step in.
So, British and Commonwealth lightweight title defences on Saturday night. It's starting to get serious now. What is it, 11-0, 12-0?
No, I'm 9-0.
9-0.
Yeah.
You're going to be 10-0 on Saturday night,
yeah,
no?
100%. I'll be 10-0 on Saturday night. I've sacrificed so much for this camp. I've sacrificed enough anyway, but I put every drop of sweat I have in the gym, and I'm ready to go. I'm just ready to go. I'm ready to explode on Saturday.
How exciting is it, Joe, to fight on such a historic card like this?
Oh, it's amazing. Obviously, I've boxed on pay-per-view shows before. It's nothing new to me now, so it's just about getting in here, absorbing all the atmosphere, and just soaking it all in, and then perform on Saturday.
Well, you also happen to be in the 130-pound division where the main event's taking place.
135.
Sorry, 135 division. Sorry,
I'm
having a mare. No, I've been in and out of prison all the last couple of weeks, or it felt like prison. I'll explain more about that later. But the 135 division. But the point is this: on the card, of course, is the guy they consider the #1 pound-for-pound in the world. So you can maybe get a little bit of a sighter this week of Vasyl Lomachenko as well.
Yeah, of course. I've been watching him since I started amateur boxing, so yeah, but I got a long way to go yet. So I've got Saturday night to get over and get through Gavinb Gwynne first, and then we can start looking at things like that. But until then, I got a long way to go.
How does your fight go down on Saturday night in your book?
I win. Mine?
Yeah.
I win.
By what? By knockout?
I just win. Whatever it takes, I'll win. If I knock him out, I'll knock him out. If I stop him, I'll stop him. If the ref jumps in, if I win on points, I just win.
Okay, so in an alternative universe, you're 11-0 and you're 130 pounds, but in reality, you're 9-0 right now and you're 135 pounds, and he's undefeated as well. But from his records, he's got 11 wins, but only 1 stoppage in those 10 out of the 11. There's 1 knockout. Do we take it from that he's not a big puncher and he's coming to box you?
No, listen, he's 6 foot. By right, he should try and box me, but I don't think he's going to outbox me. I know I've been in their gym, so I know exactly what they're going to try and do. They're going to come out and try and rough me up, but I've been in a pro gym for 3 years, coming up 3 years now, and I've been around very physical opponents, boxers like Ricky Burns, Zach, and Mitzi with the best, and never been really, really hurt. So, and he's been in with Crawford and a lot of the great fighters, but I've had plenty of sparring partners. I've sparred Linares, so I've been in with very good fighters. I don't think he's going to bring anything I haven't seen before. He's going to try and rough me up, and I'll be comfortable, and I'll just box him all day long.
You got those Welsh dragon eyes on right now. Forget the wizards.
Yeah, no,
You got the dragon eyes on. It's fight week. We're here. Cordina means business. Saturday night, don't miss him.
Tune in.
Tune in.
Lovely,
Before you
thank
go,
you,
quickly, can we get your prediction on the Lomachenko Campbell fight?
Lomachenko rounds 8 to 10.
Solid. What do you think about
Very
that?
good, thank you.
you.
Well,
What
I'm
do you think
agreeing
about
with that. I'll be telling you all week. I think Lomachenko will go to the body in this fight from 4 or 5 rounds onwards, Dave, and I do think he wins between rounds 8 and 10, or he certainly stops Campbell by the end. If not, I see him winning by a comfortable points decision. Funny thing about Cordina and his opponent Gwynne, by the way,
Yep.
worth knowing this.
Let him know.
Gwynne, it's an all-Welsh clash, of course. Cardiff against Rhondda Valley. Gwynne,
You know all about that, what do you?
I do, all around the valley. Gwynne is from Merthyr Tydfil. Merthyr Tydfil happens to be the home of the great Jimmy Wilde and the Howard Winston, two of the greatest boxers ever produced by these shores, the mighty Atom. Howard Winston, Jimmy Wilde, both from Merthyr Tydfil. They produced a lot of hard boxers, and this guy will give his all against Joe Cordina on Saturday night.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Just to touch on the fact that he predicted rounds 8 to 10, and so did you. Just to let you guys know, we got top price guarantee on round betting. Top prices from 9 on the 26th of the 8th, 2019, available on all channels. Comparison with all selected competitors, and you know what I mean? Like, as you already know, we can't be beaten on round-to-round betting. And just to plug you guys in on the odds with that main fight there, Lomachenko versus Campbell. Lomachenko's in to win that fight as an overwhelming favorite, 1 to 16. A draw's at 25 to 1, and Luke Campbell's at 8 to 1. Round by round betting, Lomachenko round 1 is 28 to 1, rounds 2 and 3 is 20 to 1, rounds 4 is 16 to 1, 5 14 to 1, 6 12 to 1, rounds 7 and 8. 8 of which both Gareth and Joe Cordina bet and said that it's probably going to be between that, you know, around about that round. It's the shortest at 10 to 1. From there it goes up to 12 to 1 in round 9, round 10 16 to 1, round 11 20 to 1, round 12 25 to 1. Points is at 5 to 2. Now I'm going to test Gareth's hearing and see if he heard any of what I just said there.
What's that?
The odds on Lomachenko winning.
Oh yeah, all of it, yeah.
And for those of you guys who want to make the big bucks, is it bad to bet on Campbell on this one?
No, not at all. Most people are... When someone nailed... Listen, Campbell is an Olympic champion.
Tell them.
I'll tell you all about this. He's an Olympic gold medalist.
Bring it off.
He's the most decorated amateur in British boxing history. European champion, world silver medalist. Very, very talented. He's gone all the way through the levels. He's done it all. He's only lost twice, once in an up-and-coming fight as a pro against Ivan Mendy. He's very, very tough. And he lost against Jorge Linares in a world title challenge. On a split, you know, on a very close decision.
Very, very close.
When he was put down early in the fight after his father had passed away. It was in terrible circumstances. He's got the wherewithal to be able to beat Lomachenko, if anyone can. He's a southpaw, he's got that awkward style, he's long, he's much taller. If he can get Lomachenko into a boxing match, there's an opportunity. So, are the odds big on him winning?
They are huge. Well, to be honest, for him winning, round 1 is at 200 to 1. Round 2 is at 175 to 1. From rounds 3 all the way to round 11, it's at 125 to 1.
It's a cheeky Dave 20 on that. Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it. Because in one of those rounds, something could go wrong with Lomachenko. Look, we all hype up how brilliant a boxer Vasyl Lomachenko is, and he is. But things go wrong in fights. Things go wrong in sport. Look what happened in the test match last Sunday.
Let him know.
78 runs for the last wicket.
Yes.
Ben Stokes pulling off what they're calling a miracle. Now, it's not even a miracle for Campbell to win. It's very, very unlikely, reflected in the odds, but it's not a dead shot by any means.
Yeah, even by points is at 20 to 1.
Yeah.
Do you think this fight can go to the... If Lomachenko... I mean, Campbell is going to win this fight, sorry. Is it going to have to be by a knockout, or can it go to points? Can he outbox
of course he can. No, I don't think so. I don't see him outboxing Lomachenko, but I do think that Campbell has the power, if he has to. Remember, this is a guy who's fighting, who's come up from featherweight to lightweight, come up 2 weight divisions, 235, not 130. I've had a very scrambled mind for the last couple of weeks. It's been a busy time.
Absolutely.
But he's a guy that's come up 2 weight divisions, so he's not naturally a big man. So if he gets him under pressure and he does hurt him, you cannot completely rule out Luke Campbell winning this fight.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, we spent a lot of time talking about Lomachenko and Campbell. We have an absolutely stacked undercard. Chief support in this fight, Fury, Povetkin. What's your thoughts on that one?
Well, the thoughts on Fury and Povetkin, it's a fantastic fight. It's a fantastic fight for Hughie Fury. We've got Eddie Hearn here tonight.
The one and only.
He's just been for a run.
He's getting ready to get in there as well.
We're going to...
You know, I mean, who comes to your call with a velvet waistcoat on?
I
Right?
do.
Dressed in black, you look like you just come off the bike. You know what I mean? You know, I can imagine him, you know when he takes the helmet off and goes,
Gives it the old
Like that, yeah.
head and shoulders in
I'm only
it.
jealous you're Barnet, don't worry. Go on, what do you want?
How's it going?
It's
It looks like you're ready to jump in there and do a little workout yourself. They would love that.
Yeah, they would, and someone would like to watch me get knocked spark out as well. Alexander Povetkin might be the man to do it.
Well, it's funny, you know, because we were just saying how interesting a fight is Hughie
Oh,
Fury.
I mean-
it's the fight I'm most interested in on the card.
Gareth, since I made that fight, there hasn't been a day that's gone past that I haven't thought about that fight.
Yeah.
You know, is Peter and Hughie mad, or is this genius? You know, you've seen Peter's a maverick, isn't he? Like, Tyson Fury against Klitschko, the game plan they put together in that fight was exceptional. They need to pull off a similar kind of performance to win on Saturday. They need like something, you know, Povetkin's got to be a little bit off, Hughie's got to be razor sharp. Like, is it just genius timing, or is it just complete nuttiness?
If he wins this fight,
Oh, he's like...
Povetkin is ranked by BoxNation
Yeah.
5 in the world,
Yeah,
and I
he
think
is.
that's
He's
not
the top
far
five.
off.
Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
Look, he's got 14 years on him. That's one thing. In fact, he's so young we can't have him on the William Hill.
We got him on.
because he's under 25.
2 more weeks.
So you forget about Hughie, that he's been around as a top-class heavyweight for 5 years
Yeah.
already. He's only 24.
Well,
if he wins
boxed,
this
he
fight,
boxed Parker when he was 22.
exactly,
Right, and it was a close fight.
Very
right?
close.
I think inexperience might have cost him a little bit. He boxed Pulev when he was 23 in Bulgaria, and he's now boxing Povetkin at 24. So you've got to respect the guy. I said the other day.
No doubt.
Well, he had a massive cut in that fight,
Yeah,
didn't he? And it really did put him off. And Pulev's a tricky old opponent.
I went round Peter Fury's house once for a cup of tea and biscuits to talk about Hughie Fury versus AJ, and I was thinking, this is all rubbish. They don't want the AJ fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just trying to say we've had a meeting. But now I know they would have taken that.
They're
fight.
serious.
Yeah,
Because what I love about Peter is, see his interviews where he's like, hey, what's the matter here? Get in now. Go on, he's only a man with 2 arms and 2 legs.
Yeah.
In you go. Like, you know what I mean?
traveller talk,
yeah,
Eddie.
it is,
That's traveller talk.
but it gives you no fear. So Hughie Fury's saying, well, Hughie Fury's got no fear of Povetkin,
Yeah.
whereas virtually every other heavyweight in the world does. But it's either going to be genius or brutal the other way, because Povetkin looks ultra fresh. And by the way, this is actually a strange fight for Povetkin to accept as well. Hughie Fury's really slippery, great style. Like, what do you want to do? Get outfoxed by Hughie Fury? His career's over, Povetkin, if he loses to Hughie Fury. So it's actually quite a lot of pressure on both sides. It's a fascinating fight. And by the way, Charlie Edwards against Julio Cesar is a brilliant fight. You know,
It's full of Matador again, isn't it?
yeah, and he's just knocked out Andrew Selby,
Yes.
who is an exceptional talent.
I
It's
agree.
become mandatory.
Yeah.
That is a brilliant fight. Brilliant.
And
fight.
Aguilar is a come-forwards,
Yeah.
very aggressive fighter,
big puncher,
younger,
yeah.
big puncher. And you know what? Charlie, I spoke to him at the weekend, and we'll speak to him tonight as well. He's relishing this because he loves the idea of being able to time someone coming in.
Yeah.
And he's, for you, I don't know if it's the same for you, but for me, he has grown as a person and in stature so much since winning the world title.
Well, if you
hasn't
look
he?
at it now,
He even looks like David Bowie now, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, that's an interesting one. But he's #1 flyweight in the world.
Yeah.
In BoxRec,
Yeah.
you know, in everybody's rankings. So it's a big achievement, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes a fighter, once you get that bit of belief and confidence, and you get in that groove, you can start becoming levels and levels above. That's what he's doing. But he'll need those levels to win on Saturday. I think you're
Absolutely.
bringing Ryan Ford in, aren't
We
you?
are indeed. We are
I'll
indeed.
go then.
Yeah, we'll pull you back in a second. Don't you worry, Eddie. All right. Up next, stepping into the cauldron is the one and only Mr. Ryan Ford, how's it going?
How are you doing?
Good.
How are you
Thanks,
doing?
man.
All the way from Canada.
All the way from
When did you fly over?
We got here on Monday morning.
Monday morning. How you dealing with the time differences, the jet lag?
You know, I'm used to going to Russia and Germany, so the time difference wasn't as bad as going over there, so jet lag's already gone.
I'm gonna sort of say what everyone else is saying at home right about now. They're definitely saying, Dave, your beard doesn't compare to this man's right here. Beard gang all day, every day.
All day, every day.
Absolutely. You looking forward to this fight this Saturday?
Yeah, man. You know, I've been looking forward to getting on a big show like this, and I got the call, and you know, I didn't say no. When the door gets knocked on, you know, you open the door because you never know when opportunity is going to knock again.
Absolutely.
Now, this guy carries Buatsi. You'll know all this, but for our viewers, Buatsi is kind of like one of the golden boys of British boxing right now. Everybody's talking him up all the time. Someone's going to upset him along the way. You know, you've got that hard guy look about you. You've got that look like you ain't going anywhere. You've had twice as many fights as him. As you say, you've travelled all around the world. As we saw with Anthony Yard against Sergei Kovalev last weekend, you cannot buy experience. And that's what cost Yard. Buatsi's not very experienced. He's had a lot of gimmies so far. Is this the night that it's going to change it, Ryan?
I'm here to change it, right? You know, I put in the work, I put in the time, hard work, dedication, sacrifice, and you know, I'm here and I'm not going nowhere. I come to bring a war.
Have you looked at him so far at all or not?
Looked at him by
in terms of his videos of him or any.
Or even right now. Even right now, he's in there.
Yeah. You know, I've got a chance to take a look at him, see his fights and stuff. You know, the one thing I say is he hasn't fought nobody like me. He hasn't fought nobody like me.
Quick question: what is it for those that haven't seen you fight before? What can they expect to see from you on Saturday night? What type of fighter are you?
Rugged, ruthless. You know, I come to fight. You know, I'm not here to be dancing around and, you know, just trying to give somebody rounds. I'm here to show up and show out. You know, it's nothing but the real deal when I step in that ring.
Yeah, he shaves his beard off before he fights, but you never do, no?
No, I never shave the beard off. My wife doesn't like it when I shave my beard, so you know.
Because all the other girls like you too much.
Listen, obviously we know you were former MMA. You made the transition the other way. Most people are going from boxing to MMA. Gareth, he's pretty big into MMA. Can you try a little move on him? Show us a little something.
What does he want?
I don't know, anything. What have you got?
I finished a few of my fights with the rear naked choke, so you know, rear naked choke's pretty easy, but yeah. I don't want to put him to sleep. You know, so he's blocking it, right?
I'm blocking that.
Show me, use me.
Yeah,
rear
show me.
naked choke, you know, you can put it around the neck like that. Oh, damn.
Oh,
real
damn.
quick, right?
Yeah. It only takes 4 seconds to close the career.
Yeah, listen,
and you're sleeping, and then I say, hey, what happened?
I thought I was at the gates. I saw the pearly gates calling me in right there.
Yeah. Dave forgot I had a heart attack 2 weeks ago, so I wasn't having it done on me.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
He was blocking it.
In.
Wax on, wax off.
It is interesting that, because today I was speaking to James Haskell, who's a rugby player at the very highest level, who's just signed a Bellator, for example.
Okay,
and it's interesting that the combat sports and the contact sports are actually interplaying at the moment. The rugby players, NFL players are going into MMA, that boxers are going to MMA, MMA fights are going to boxing, but presumably you did boxing all the way from the start as well.
You know, I grew up boxing. My dad was Canadian lightweight champ, ranked 3 in the world, you know. Fought the likes of Ray Boom Boom Mancini, Aaron Pryor.
Let him know.
You know, so boxing's in my blood, fighting's in my blood, right? So I actually grew up playing American football, and then, you know, The Ultimate Fighter came on. I was like, damn, you know, I wrestled in high school. I know how to throw the hands. I'm like, let's give this a go. So that's when it was booming at the time. So I went where the money was and, you know, landed me up fighting 27 mixed martial arts fights.
Interestingly, you know, where is the money at for fighters at the moment? Or does it depend on where you're at in the different sports?
No, at the end of the day, boxing where the money's at. You know, boxing's where the money's at, the longevity, and, you know...
The single martial art, that's the thing, isn't it?
That's the thing, right? In mixed martial arts, you have 7 different disciplines you got to try to cram in a 24 hours. Where boxing, you can focus on one and be great. Mixed martial arts, you can't be great at everything. You can be great at one.
Well, how good's this guy, Lomachenko?
Lomachenko, he's the Matrix, man. You know, just from watching him from the amateurs to professional boxing. He does things that you just step back and you're like, did he just do that? So, yeah, he's the man for sure.
Neo himself. Well, Mr. Ford,
it's great to
it's
meet
been an
you.
absolute pleasure.
Much respect.
We'll
for
catch
you,
you
man.
tomorrow at
Cheers.
the press conference.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Ryan.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Ah,
Ryan
mate.
Ford there, top
Ryan
guy.
Ford.
Fascinating. Well, fascinating that fighters are, like you say, doing mixed martial arts and
And coming
boxing.
in, yeah.
Well, we know that there have been a lot of them, you know, particularly if they've had a stand-up start to their career, they
Yes.
can come back into boxing. I mean, people like Jorge Masvidal, who people know, had one kickboxing and one professional boxing match. Nick Diaz, all these guys, they all know how to box. Conor McGregor had an amateur boxing career, Crumlin Amateur Boxing Club. You know, there's a whole, it's the same community in many ways, David.
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt.
What are the odds with Buatsi? Have we got the odds with Buatsi and Ryan Ford?
Yeah, let me have a look at that.
I mean, it is interesting because, you know, I wanted to set it up for Ford there that, you know, how fascinating is it for him to come over and be one of those people? They're all brought over here for Buatsi to win. Not that they can't box, but he's so hard. He's so, you know, kind of ruthless when he fights. That for these guys, it's very tough. And everything's always in his own backyard, isn't it?
It is. Well, then again, almost. He did fight in America on June 1st as well.
He did.
Yeah. Well, the odds for that is 1 to 100 for Buatsi to win. It's 1 to 100 for Buatsi to win. A draw is in at 33 to 1.
Wow.
And Ryan Ford to win is at 16 to 1. Would you throw a little cheeky tenner on a? You said there's got to be a time where he's going to be tested.
Well, this is what I mean. If there's someone is going to push him to the wire at some point, as I said, when Anthony Yard fought Sergei Kovalev last weekend, we didn't see levels of experience that he needed in that fight.
Yes.
You know? And given that this week you've broken with tradition and that you're wearing combat green, William Hill, something unusual is going to happen. You're wearing the combat green.
Yeah, listen, this is a custom. I don't think you understand, Gareth. Yeah, this is a custom-made.
I clearly
piece.
don't understand.
Because people out there, they want it. They want to get their hands on it, but they can't. This is
Yeah, but I didn't see Eddie Hearn commenting on your dress
No,
tonight,
he didn't.
but he was commenting on mine.
No, because I know he was wondering where I got this Gucci top from. I know he was thinking that.
It's a custom.
It's a custom made as well. Custom made in Shanghai. But listen, in a moment here, we'll be having Josh Buatsi, my good friend from the dirty South London. My good friend, Mr. Josh Buatsi, is about to step in and talk to us very, very shortly. I think he's heading over to Sky first. But for those of you guys just joining us, we are here live at York Hall for the Lomachenko Campbell workout, aren't we, Gareth?
We are.
Yeah, tell them about this venue. Tell them about this place. Some of them are just joining us now.
Excuse me. It's roasting in here as usual. I remember a couple of shows back when I was wearing a long jacket in here as well.
I remember.
And it got dry cleaned while I was in here. It got cleaned with my sweat and then dried up on a hanger. No, it's incredibly warm in here. This is a home, one of the spiritual homes of boxing in East London.
Yes.
Great nights here in the past. I've watched David Haye, Joe Calzaghe, all the greats fight, Lennox Lewis. They've all fought here. They've all come here. When it's full, there's 1,500 people in here. It's like a bear pit. People are up on the balconies. The crowd's in here tonight. They're not allowed up on the balcony tonight, but it's an incredible place. The dressing rooms are tiny, and it's one of those places where the British Junior Amateur Championships have been held, all those things. But it's where bare knuckle boxing, this area of London, kind of first, you know, was really formed, and Marcus of Queensbury formed the rules. And these were the areas where boxing, in like the Italian, Polish, Jewish, African-American communities, well, not African-American, but Black British communities grew up. And, you know, I tell you what's interesting, and it is just starting to emerge, seeing the kind of the Asian communities getting into boxing.
Absolutely.
It's just coming now. It's the spiritual home. It's a big, big week. We're here for the headline event, Vasyl Lomachenko against Luke Campbell, for the WBC, WBA, WBO, and Ring Magazine lightweight world titles.
Absolutely. I love hanging out with you, Gareth, because you're just a fountain of knowledge. A fountain
Or just a
of
fountain.
knowledge. You're all just a fountain when it's hot like this, an absolute fountain. Just to let you guys know, we've got top price guarantee on round betting. Top prices from 9 o'clock on the 26th, available on all channels. Comparison with selected competitors only. Comparison does not include boosted prices from competitors. All right, terms and conditions apply. But as you know, just to round out for all of you guys, we can't be beaten on round by round betting. On top of that, we're just about to bring in the one and only William Hill ambassador, my South London brother, my GH Ghanaian brother, the one and only Mr. Joshua Buatsi. Come on in, my bro.
Hi, Josh, how you doing? You right?
We're good, man.
You want a towel or not?
I'm good, man. I'm alright.
Okay, you like getting the sweat on?
Yeah,
Sweat's
let him
good.
see. Let him know. Let him know he's been working in there.
Sweat's good, man.
I saw you on Boxing Social the other day.
Yeah.
In the reflection of the mirror, I was like, hold on, that's the colonnades.
Yeah.
That's outside Costa.
It is. You could have caught me slipping. Damn right, it's there though. It's there.
You always got
man.
the in jokes, you
I
two,
know,
haven't
yeah,
you?
listen.
It's always the in jokes.
Listen, because we're from down
South London,
South
this, South London, that.
You know what I mean? Black Star for life. I was at the Ghana High Commission today.
What they saying?
Yeah, no, they're saying they're good.
Yeah?
They're moving. They're supporting.
Respect,
they're supporting all the way.
Then I'm all good, man. I'm all good.
How have you been?
Not too bad, man. Back from the US, travelled a bit, but back in camp. It's been a long camp. So now, as you know, we've got the guy around 4 to deal with. I haven't seen much of him. I saw a glimpse of him talking to you lot, but that was about it.
Well, he said, can I tell you what he said?
Yeah,
Let's go.
Listen, he's a tough guy. He's come from MMA, had 27 MMA fights.
Brilliant.
I know MMA is not boxing, but I was saying to him, you know, there's a badge for anyone fighting you now, which is, you know, can someone get the first win over you? Because, you know, you're learning your trade, still learning your experience. We saw last weekend against Sergei Kovalev that Anthony Yarde was just lacking experience. Inexperience caused, all right, he lost 9 out of 11 rounds, but inexperience cost him the world title because he had him hurt and could have stopped Kovalev in the 8th round. You've seen it, yeah?
I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah. What did you make of it?
I think we're going to say that obviously he lost the fight, but we have to give the guy credit. And I said in the interview you saw yesterday, it wasn't like he was majorly outclassed. I know he lost the rounds, Gareth, but he wasn't majorly outclassed, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, he was stopped in the 11th. For me, he gave such a good account that I would have liked him to finish the fight on his feet. But Kovalev, like a true champion, he bounced back. I thought he was gone. In round 8, he went. I thought round 9, Yarde's going to stop him. Didn't go that way, but listen, congratulations to Yarde, man. Good performance. Didn't get the result he wanted, but I can only say positives about it.
Did it show you, I've said since then that if only he'd had a fight with the likes of Callum Johnson or a Hosea Burton or, you know, I know it's not time for you and he to meet yet, but if he'd had that step up in opponents, and did it tell you something about the way you're progressing before you meet these top level guys?
I think for me, my mate rang me up and said, Josh, that proves there are no shortcuts in life. You have to learn. You have to learn and get out there.
Yeah.
In boxing, that may have worked, it may not have worked. I'm sure it's been done before, so I can't sit from the outside and judge what he did. His team thought that was the right move. They made it. It didn't pay off. That's all I can say about it, Gareth. What would I have done? I would have had some in-between fights. That's what I would have done. But it doesn't mean that that's the right way. Just because he done it that way, they tried and it didn't work out. But like I said, man, full respect to them.
Proper serious interviews today.
I love it.
Yeah. You need to throw in a few jokes so you can start laughing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Now, how's your development going? I know you touched on it there. What you took from it from that perspective. So let's talk about you. How's your development going from that perspective?
I'm good, man. I'm just in the gym. Like I said, we've got a tough opponent that's never been stopped before. So it's up to me to see how I'm going to deal with it, how I'm going to unlock the code. Do you know what I mean? It's tough. You come, you try. But as always, man, I'm backing myself and I've done the work.
Absolutely. Big Bro's also fighting in Saudi Arabia. That's coming up that's on the 7th of December. Will you be joining him?
Listen, if I can get on that card, 100% I will be. Whether I'm fighting or not, I'm going to be there with my garms, with the, I don't even know the name of it, but with a headscarf, I'm going to call it, just a big phrase. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there kitted out, whether I'm boxing or not, man. It's an occasion not to be missed.
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. I heard you touch a little bit about it on this interview with Sky yesterday. Have you managed to speak to him since? And what advice has he given you stepping into your next few fights or into the rest of your journey so far?
I've spoken to him, but I've just tried to keep it general. I don't need to keep referring back to boxing. We all do boxing 24/7. Yeah. But we've spoken, touched on various topics, and he's also touched on various topics regarding what I should do. So it's nothing deep, but it's just good advice that I can again learn from, or I can be a step ahead and get it done before anything happens to me.
Absolutely, Dan. I like the fact that you're like, yeah, we keep it light, and it doesn't always have to be about boxing. You lot crack a bit of joke, you lot have some banter.
Yeah, you need to. Like, I put something up the other day, and he DM'd me, and what he said to me, I'm not gonna say on here, but I was laughing, and I was like, bro, that's not the situation. He obviously misread it, but it was a funny thing. But like I said, sometimes it's boxing, and more time it's just anything outside the sport.
Absolutely. What is it like fighting on such an epic card? Lomachenko in London. Some people consider him the pound-for-pound best in the world. What's it like fighting on such a card this weekend?
I think we've all seen a lot of talented fighters fight before, but I haven't seen possibly one of the most talented fighter of all times fight, and that's what I'm coming to see. I'm boxing, yep, I'm going to have my shower, say hi to people, but I'd like to sit down and to watch someone that God has blessed in abundance when we're talking about boxing ability.
Absolutely.
Would you, in winning this fight, expect to be on the Saudi Arabia cards on December the 7th?
We touched on that.
Yeah, Gareth, you disappeared, mate. You missed it.
But Gareth,
I just had the boss in my ear saying, ask the question, that was all. Did you have the same?
Yeah.
I just said I'd love to box on it. And I said, regardless whether I'm fighting or not, I'm going to be there.
So, have you spoken about being on there with Eddie Hearn?
I haven't even dreamt about it. I need to get this fight out of the way on Saturday, then we talk about it.
You never jump ahead. You never futurize, do you?
No, you don't need to.
What do you futurize about?
Winning my next fight, Gareth. It's literally that short sight. People talk about having long-term goals.
But that's a real discipline, isn't it?
I don't know if it's a discipline or not, but in the career that I'm in, you have to keep winning. Win the next fight. That's all that matters.
But a psychologist would say that you have to be in some part of your brain projecting that you want to achieve something higher, something greater, something...
You think higher, you aim higher, you speak things into existence, but in the immediate, what you're doing is for the next goal, which is to win my next fight, nothing else.
All right, let me ask you a question. Obviously, during camp, it's Beard Gang all day, every day.
All day, every day.
After camp...
You need to join us, man.
Yeah, you need to join Beard Gang. Like, Gareth, we're waiting for you to join Beard Gang, you know what I'm saying? Join it.
Impressed.
With this little grey old thing.
Join us, man.
So, this is very grey when it's grown out, and it's like a little biker beard.
Diet black. We've got some black. We've got some just for men for you.
But listen, when you shave on Saturday night, I'm gonna become clean shaved. 10 out of 10. Nah,
it's
12 out of 10.
12 out of 10. No, it's funny, you know.
Don't be so modest. They don't know the truth.
It's funny, you know, because we asked Ryan Ford about shaving on Saturday night. He's got a nice beard on him, and he was saying no. He said my wife doesn't like it when I shave. You know.
I haven't got a wife, so I don't have those problems. But there's a bigger problem to do with on Saturday night. So that's what we're.
What's his style? Have you studied it?
Short fighter, so he's gonna come in with hooks. That's as much as I've seen. Is there anything else I can read into? Not really. The way he fought you and Dave will be different to how he's going to fight me, so I can't read too much into it. That's where I stand.
Absolutely. Well, it's always an absolute pleasure, bro. We're looking forward to seeing you fight on the night. Obviously, the overwhelming favourite, 16-1, and I know you don't care about that. The odds mean nothing to you.
Yeah, it means nothing to me, man. Got to get in the ring and do the business, as you know, man.
Absolutely.
As you know.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Thank you, Joshua.
Appreciate that. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Oh, mate. Love him. Absolutely love him. Don't we? Love him.
No, look, the acuity and the modesty and the never getting beyond himself, never getting above himself, that, you know, it's what helps him be so realistic about how far he's got to go. I genuinely think his advantages of watching Anthony Yard last weekend and what went wrong for Yard and the lack of experience against someone who is, look, Kovalev is very close to the end. We saw that on Saturday night as well. That's not the Kovalev that fought Andre Ward 3 years ago, 2 years ago, the summer of 2 years ago, and 2.5 years ago in Brooklyn. Vegas and Brooklyn, those two fights. He is 36 years old, Yard is 28, but Buatsi's so realistic, and that's why he's dangerous, because he doesn't believe in the hype that everyone else is talking about him. He just gets the job done. I hope Ryan Ford really tests him on Saturday night. It's good to see him tested. I thought Periban, who he fought, as he reminded us, June the 1st in America, Periban was an easy fight for him. Periban didn't look up for it, if you recall.
Yep.
Periban was a super middleweight anyway, not a light heavyweight. 7 pounds below, 168 pounds, not 175. So I really do want to see Josh in some serious tests this year. And judging by the way, listen, we've seen other guys here before say, yeah, I'm really going to give it to him. But once he hits them hard, once they crack him and he doesn't shift, you see them change, you know?
Absolutely.
As Mike Tyson always said, you find out what people's boxing style is like once they get hit in the face. Then the game plan goes out of the window.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Who would you like to see him against? Who would you like to see him challenged up against?
Joshua?
Yeah, absolutely.
Joshua Buatsi.
Yeah.
I would like to see Joshua Buatsi fight fairly soon Hosea Burton, Callum Johnson and Anthony Yarde. All of those fights. I think...
AY is not going to be for quite a while, isn't it? The Anthony Yarde fight is not going to be for quite a while.
Well, who knows? We don't know. I mean, I think Yarde will rebuild. I think Yarde should rebuild and fight for British, European, Commonwealth. Rebuild his confidence. He hadn't gone beyond 7 rounds before, and that's the kind of thing that Joshua Buatsi will need to do as well. Get the rounds in the bank, get the practice there, get the experience that you can't get in those big fights where you've got to go 12 rounds, where you have had to dig deep before, and your body, your mind, your mentality, all your sources, the sources within you that you have to go to, know you can do it. Your chin, your stamina, your heart, your spirit, all those things. Your technique when you're very tired, all those things. When you're exhausted and nearly knocked out. That's what Kovalev knew he could do on Saturday night against Yarde. I'd like to see Joshua tested in that way before he gets to that very highest level, because they're all killers up there and they're all from Eastern Europe.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Now, as me and Gareth have just been talking, the WBC flyweight champion of the world has entered the ring. The one and only Mr. Charlie Edwards, also hailing from South London. Also a South London friend of mine, via way of Sheffield at the moment. Gareth, what do you love about Charlie?
I was trying to get Aguilar, Charlie's opponent here, but I remember he's under 25.
Yeah, I was thinking, mate.
Yeah. well, as I said to Eddie earlier, there was something about when he fought Joel Casemiro 3 years ago, he wasn't ready for the IBF world title.
Yes.
He tried really hard. Remember, he got what did he get? He got a tattoo after that. He got himself, got one of his tattoos, like the king or the lion, for his bravery, for that
I think it was a lion, yeah.
It was a lion. He's really grown in stature since winning the world title and defending it. As Eddie said, he's ranked #1 in the world. What I like about him is he's getting more and more accurate. Up there, of course, with Mr. Smith, his trainer, father of Dalton Smith, who's a brilliant young boxer as well.
Absolutely.
They've got a great little team up there in Sheffield. Charlie doesn't live with home comforts. He's up training away from home. And I do like that about him, that he doesn't have to stay in London.
Very dedicated.
Doesn't need to stay in
Very
Croydon.
dedicated. Like I said, yeah, a Croydon boy, but you might as well call him a Sheffield boy, because
Yeah, exactly.
he's not down here at all.
Yeah, here he is. How are you, man?
The one and only. Good to see you, brother.
That light is very bright.
It's bright, isn't
Very
it?
bright.
That's why I'm not looking in that direction.
Listen, when you get on the big stage like we do, you get used to the spotlight in this way.
Fair enough, but it is very bright, but let's ignore that. How are you, Gareth?
Not too bad, thank you. Very happy to be here. You're still smoking, I can smell.
No, that's someone else who's smoking, breathing it on me.
Oh, it's terrible. It's an absolute disgrace.
Ah, who is that?
Listen, you and I
Get him out of here.
have shared a nice bit of brandy and a cigar every now and again
We
at the
love
big
a cigar
events.
every now and
Love
again.
a cigar, that's what I meant, not a cigar. Look, we got the man who fights with a cigar in his mouth almost, Vasyl Lomachenko here this week. It's really exciting to interview him, isn't it? And for us, in our purposes, his English is getting better, he's coming out of himself more. Have you been around him this week at all?
I haven't really. I've just seen him obviously arrive here today. I've only interviewed him once before, but I was like 12 minutes out of him. His English has got better. That was a cheer for you, Gareth, I think. But yeah, no, listen, he's been over here before. He hasn't fought over here, but he's been over here before with obviously USEC and the team, so...
He was here in London 2012, I watched him. He was extraordinary then. And remember, he jumped up 2 weights from featherweight to lightweight in those Olympics. He'd won the featherweight title in Beijing, Olympic title, jumped up 2 weights, and the weight in between, bantamweight, was the weight that Luke Campbell won in London 2012. So it kind of sets it up in a fascinating way, doesn't it?
Of course, his amateur career seems to span for so long, and everyone was always asking, when he's going to turn pro. He hasn't been pro that long. He's had, 14 fights. Moving up the weight classes as we thought he would do. Obviously, in his first world title fight, won his second fight, which he lost. But since then, he hasn't looked back, and he's been taking out everyone in and around those weights, and now he's at lightweight, so we expect him to possibly keep rising.
Absolutely. Now, I'm going to ask the question that all of your fans want to know, all right? When are we getting another hour and a half, 90-minute Eddie Hearn Raw special?
About time.
I tried to get him on bank holiday, but the lazy bastard... Oh, I can't swear on here, can I? Sorry.
Yeah, you can.
Sorry.
He's a lazy bastard, let's just say it.
He gave some lame excuse that it was his daughter's birthday. I mean, I was like, mate, come on.
No, that's not a lame excuse.
He's going to have a lot of birthdays.
Gareth actually fell for that one, obviously. No, but he said it was his daughter's birthday. I did try to get him on the Monday to sit down with him, because I have to get him away from the hustle and the bustle.
Yeah.
We've just done a little 30 minutes out there, contemplating life, so it was all good.
Oh, solid. All right, so we got another 30-minute coming in soon.
Yeah, not the hour and a half.
Just to razz-dazzle you for a little bit, and then you'll get a solid hour and a half sometime soon.
Absolutely. What fights are you looking forward to on the card, Gareth?
Do you know, I'm really looking forward to Hughie Fury against Alexander Povetkin. As people that are deep in the boxing industry, it's a real opportunity for Hughie to show a bit more power and step into his punches. He's up against, I think, the number 5 in the world. It's a brilliant opportunity to project himself, and it's just very exciting. I see Povetkin as the favourite in this fight, frankly, even though he's 14 years his senior. How do you see it?
It's interesting because Hughie Fury only recently signed for Matchroom, and usually when you sign for
you get like
welcome to Matchroom, I'll take that and we'll look at something after that. He's jumping straight in with Povetkin, so fair.
How do you see it?
It's, to be honest, I don't really know. It's like Povetkin's kind of not coming towards the end of his career as such as a couple of fights. No, but he's
38 years, 39 years old.
He's got a few fights in him potentially left. What I'm saying is, Hughie Fury, kind of as young as he is, has been in with the likes of Joseph Parker 3 years ago.
Yep.
Pulev went out to Bulgaria to fight Pulev. These are all learning fights for Hughie Fury. So give him some credit. He took that fight for Pulev when people weren't itching to go out to Bulgaria to fight him. Yeah. So he's kind of had those fights, and we're hoping kind of that experience he's had in those fights can kind of count against someone like Povetkin, who's such a dangerous fighter. You can't switch off. We've seen it with Joshua. We saw it with David Bryson over the last couple of years. You can't switch off with Povetkin because as small as he is, if he clips you, you're going.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, he's just stepped in the ring right now. We're going to say goodbye to you, Cougar, because we've got
Charlie Edwards instead.
We've got Mr. WBC flyweight champion of the world.
From rock star to pop star.
He's world champion.
From old school to new school. We'll see you in a minute.
Yeah, Robert, see you soon. See you soon.
Thank you, Cougar.
The one and only Mr. Cougar Cactus. In the ring right now is Mr. Alexander Povetkin,
Povetkin's working out, but
the one and only Mr. WBC flyweight champion of the world, Mr.
Hi, Charlie, how are you?
Charlie Edwards, my good friend in South London, brother, by way of Sheffield right now. How's it going?
I'm great. As you can see it now, full of spirit. Everything's gone smoothly. This is my time. I believe that. This is my era. And every fight I'm getting better and better. I'm learning in the gym every day under my coach, Grant Smith. And I'm really looking forward to putting on the show on Saturday night.
The crowd were absolutely loving you there. I saw you throw out a couple of gloves and some clothes as well to them. What does this fan base mean to you?
Do you know what? It means the world to me. I've worked so hard from an 11-year-old kid to get to where I am today, and to get the love from the British public. It means the world to us. The hard work's done in the gym, and this is the playtime. So when I'm out there, I'm speaking to the kids, and that seeing the little smile on their face, it really reminds me and brings me back into that moment when I was that kid and I was looking up to these people. So I'm all about giving back.
You're one of I'd consider you as one of the most motivated people in boxing. Honestly, I'm inspired.
In boxing,
in life, period.
Thank
honestly,
you. There you go.
Because I look. Thanks for correcting me there, Gareth. You're actually spot on there. Because I look. Friends on social media, I see absolutely everything you post, and when I see how hard you work, how determined, how driven you are, what drives you? What gives you this urge?
I'm a limit breaker. I don't set no limits on myself. Sky is the limit and beyond. So I'm in this sport to push my limits day in, day out. My dream is to become a multi-weight world champion, and I am going to do that. And I won't even say which weight I think I'll get to, because I will keep trying until I can't go no more.
Absolutely.
Where does that come from, Charlie?
Yeah.
I think it's a fighting spirit from my mother. I really do.
How is Mum?
She's good. She's flying. She's smiling, that's all that we can ask now. She's going to be there Saturday night.
As
she
ever.
might even be there at the weigh-in as well. My sister wanted to bring her down. She wanted to come down, so hopefully she can get there for the weigh-in. And yeah, man, just looking at her motivates me every single day. In my bedroom, I have pictures of me and her. I've got like a little shrine of it, and to see what she's been through to get to where she is today, that gives me that heart, that determination. Anything's possible in this life.
Now, about the opponent, Aguilar, we can't have him on to be interviewed because he's under 25, so he can't come on the channel. In many ways, I love the stylistic matchup here because I was talking to you on Saturday night when we were on Talk Sport together. He's an aggressive, come-forwards fighter. We saw what he did against Andrew Selby recently. But it's, oh, your shoulders went then. Oh, your shoulders went then. You were getting ready. Oh, you were getting ready. You were getting the moves. No, you're going to be the matador against the bull again, no?
100%. Punch perfect performance as always. I'll be super zoned in, super focused. I won't even have to try, because when I'm in there, things unfold in front of me. I let the spirit run my body. I just sit back out of mind, relax, like Bruce Lee said, still in the moment, peace of mind.
Be like water.
Be like water, everything falls into place.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, earlier on, we had a little pre-chat. I saw your brother floating around the place. A little question from the people back at home. They want to know, have you ever fought your brother behind closed doors, and if so, who won?
We fight all the time in sparring, and we have competitive spars. I'll just leave it at that. He's horrible.
Serious.
Is he the puncher, you're the boxer?
No, he's the boxer. Definitely the boxer.
So you put it on him then, yeah?
He's got so much talent, mate. Put it on him, he's the king of the flyweights, because he's hard to catch. He just buzzes around.
So is he going to take over from you then?
100%.
You're convinced about that?
He's dropped down to flyweight now, so
where is he?
It's his. Sonny.
Here he comes.
Here he comes.
Bring the belt as well, Sonny.
No, we want the
We want you, mate.
king.
Come in.
Step in it.
Now, we're talking about fireside scraps now, yeah? i.e. Edwards v. Edwards. Yeah? You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I said, so is he the puncher and you're the boxer, Charlie? And he went, no, he's the boxer. He's going to take over from me eventually.
Well, I mean, if I was in the position he's in now at any point in my career, I think that would be a great achievement. You know, there's not many boxers that set out to be a world champion actually achieve it. But he's obviously my older brother, he's someone I've looked up to. We've mixed at a similar level for many years now, and him achieving his goal, and obviously now he's got new goals on top of that, but him achieving that goal showed me how in touch and distance it is for me as well.
You've got the same DNA, brother. You know, so that it's gonna help you in some way, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think so. We both have come from absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? We didn't have no older generation putting us into boxing. We are the first generation of the Edwardses, I suppose you can say. We are the first of our kind. So hopefully we can do it. Our kids can do it. Their kids can do it, and we have a nice bloodline.
Straight up, Sonny, I was going to ask, how motivating is it for you to see like your brother achieve world championship, but still be as hungry or even more hungry and motivated to keep going?
You know, it's been something from even when we was young. I'm talking. He's always 3 years older than me, so he's always been 3 years advanced. So when I was having my first fights, he was boxing for England around the world. When he was winning senior ABAs, I was winning youth ABAs. So he's always been the next steps. Whatever I'm doing now is good, but he's always been a trailblazer.
Do you know where he is years ahead of you? Tattoos.
Tattoos.
Tattoos. Now listen, you and me both. Look, me and you both got a bit of Edwards catching up to do.
Yeah, I mean,
we are little bare babies, me and you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for people that haven't seen me box, I don't like getting hit. I don't like getting hurt. So
you don't like needles.
So sitting around with a needle for about 8 hours isn't my idea of a good time. But to each their own.
Well, listen, when you win that world title, should me and you get a tattoo?
What, matching one?
Yeah, what?
so you get the ticket.
Okay, I'm going to do something symbolic.
Faces on you. mini Klitschko's.
I love it. Honestly.
No, Giant Edwards.
Giant Edwards.
Not mini Klitschko, Giant Edwards.
I love it.
Brilliant.
On that bombshell, we're going to let you go. But listen, I saw a little clip of you on the farm. You know what I mean? I see you teasing everybody about Love Island, and their man just popped up on the farm.
I all know it's all fun and games when I was teasing about Love Island. However, I would go on it. I would. I'm not gonna lie. But the farm, yeah, it was something that popped up after my last fight, and I thought, you know what, different experience, bringing a different audience to our sport for the lighter weights. It's a no-brainer.
Just remind us it's the giant elephant, because that's right. I'm going to have an elephant here. I'm going to have a big trunk up here. Never mind.
Well, Jess, it's been an absolute pleasure. Yeah, good luck Saturday.
We'll see you tomorrow anyway, yeah?
No doubt.
Cheers, Sonny. Thank you.
In a bit, bro.
See you tomorrow, yeah? Cheers, Sonny. Cheers, man. Cheers. Thanks very much.
Gotta love the Edwards brothers.
Yeah,
gotta love
great
the Edwards.
stuff. Absolutely brilliant.
For you guys that are just joining us, we are live and direct at York Hall in East London for the Lomachenko Campbell workout.
Yeah, we're just waiting for those two now, but we've got Hughie Fury, the cousin of Tyson Fury, in the ring behind us working out right now. Obviously, he's fighting Alexander Povetkin that lost to Anthony Joshua last September. Last September, as it is now, here in London. And of course, it's one of those big occasions because Fury is fighting a guy in Povetkin who won the Olympic title in Athens in 2004,
Indeed.
who won the world title in 2003 in Bangkok, world amateur title. He's won so many titles. Come in here. Johnny Nelson.
I love the way you just faded in like, what's going on over there?
No, you're always welcome. You're always welcome in here with us.
Flew into the bright lights like a moth to a flame.
He's going, whack, get out of the way, boy.
I was just saying, Johnny, you know who Povetkin is. Hughie Fury's in against Povetkin. He might be 39, coming up 40, and Hughie's only 24, but Povetkin has an incredible amateur pedigree, Olympic champion, amateur gold medalist in the World Championships, fought Vladimir Klitschko in a terrible fight, has only lost 2 fights. Joshua was the other loss.
Gareth, pace is going to be the key.
Oh,
Hughie Fury is 24 years old.
Yeah.
Povetkin is 39 years old. Now, cruiserweights can fight heavyweights. Can he dominate them? Only certain ones can. Povetkin is not a big, awkward heavyweight where he's tall, he's got height, he's got reach. He's beatable. He's the perfect size of a guy I'd happily fight if he was heavyweight and I was cruiserweight.
Yeah, but has Fury got the power to keep him
So
off?
that's the problem.
You know?
So Fury is unorthodox, and Fury he has the reach, he has the awkwardness, but has he got a concussive power to stop him in his tracks? Povetkin is smart enough, is sharp enough to slip, bump, get inside.
As we saw against Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
He sets traps, he sets feints.
We saw him figure out the jigsaw puzzle in front of him with
the algorithm.
He's putting that in his back pocket for Sky tomorrow.
Algorithm. I'm going to use that. So when he boxed at David Price had him in trouble because David Price is a big digger, but once he figured it out, boom, gone.
Yeah.
So my issue is this. Hughie Fury can create a lot of awkwardness and uncomfortable situation for Povetkin, but I think he should be a cruiserweight, not a heavyweight. I think he should be playing at cruiserweight, and it'd be a boss cruiserweight because he's comfortable getting in there with heavyweight.
You think he gets boiled down to 200 pounds? Have you told Peter Fury that?
I'm big boss at
Have you told the old man that?
Not yet. So
you might end up in a
He's trying to
may end up in a travel affair fight there if you tell him that.
But what I'm saying to you is, it depends on what success he wants. You know, it depends on where he wants to be. It depends on was it who did he box there? Parker. No, he boxed Parker.
Yeah, it was a very close fight in Manchester.
And he was awkward enough for Josie Parker.
Yeah.
But at no point did you think that he was dominating him, he was slipping, he was awkward, making it hard for him to get a win.
Yeah.
But if you're going to win the heavyweights, you've got to be a dominant heavyweight to boss it. Look at Anthony Joshua, look at Deontay Wilder, look at Tyson Fury. If you want to be up there, or even Ortiz, you've got to be a dominant heavyweight. And I don't think a young 24-year-old...
You're saying he doesn't have enough power.
See there? Done. That's it.
At heavyweight.
He said it in a few words.
At heavyweight.
At heavyweight. At cruiserweight, I think he can be boss at cruiserweight.
Wow, that's very interesting. So do you think Usyk would beat him?
Usyk's no longer cruiserweight.
No, but at cruiserweight, Usyk versus Fury would be a great fight, yeah?
Yeah, it would be a great fight, because Fury is awkward and long enough, and he'll be strong as enough.
You think he can drop 20 pounds and get down to cruiser?
Yeah, I do.
Because he looks very lean now.
He does look very lean.
It's about the diet, and I'm it's 14 stone 4 now. Now it's no longer 30 stone 7, 30 stone. It's 14 stone 4. They're little heavyweights, and that's what gave me a bit of longevity as a cruiserweight. But give me another 2 years. So that's just how it is. And so I think for this young man here, he could do cruiserweight, but if he's happy to compete at heavyweight and comfortable, fine, go on. I'd have done that, but I knew I was a cruiserweight.
Yeah.
What other fights on this card excite you? I know this
Savannah Marshall.
This is the most intriguing fight.
Very
on the card,
intriguing.
though,
Savannah Marshall. She was a former Sky scholar. Savannah Marshall. She took herself out to. She did what most fighters, male and female, won't do. Took herself away from home. Made camp in the Mayweather camp. She was the only white chick there in this camp, and this place was dominated. And she was comfortable. She believed in herself.
She was at home.
She was at home, and I thought, this is the best thing mentally.
No, because she's a very shy girl.
No, but it was that's what I'm saying. It's the best thing mentally.
That's what I'm saying.
Because as an amateur, she lost fights.
She's from Hartlepool. She was the only woman in the gym growing up. She was in there from the age of 11.
Yeah.
She was 5'11" at the age of 11. Yeah. She's 6'1". She lost in the Olympics to Claressa Shields in 2012. Yeah. And the thing is about Claressa Shields, she is apart from Kenny Taylor, the most dominant woman boxer in the world, and that's who she's after.
Yeah. And you want revenge. And I saw when she was in the Mayweather gym, and she was comfortable. Not many fighters will comfortably take themselves away from home, set up camp, set a new life. Luke Campbell did it. Yeah. And I know.
Wig did it.
And I know, because that's what improved me as a fighter. Once I was a sparring partner all over the world. Once I started boxing, everybody else's turf, it gave me physical and emotional confidence.
Yes.
And that's what it's done for Savannah. She's only had 6 professional fights since turning pro. I hope now it'll springboard into some consistency.
I agree.
I mean, you get seen her in at least 2 or 3 times before Christmas.
I hope so. Yeah, brilliant, Johnny. Do you want to get me? Thank you so much. Yeah, but thank you so much. Brilliant as always.
It has been.
Brilliant as always.
Hey, listen, if you're looking for Johnny Nelson anyway, obviously you can catch him on Twitter, on Instagram, and all that good stuff.
Johnny
and
Nelson.
he also has a hashtag 1000%, Mr. One.
Oh yeah, 1000%. Oh, look, he's here. Where's your brother there?
I just saw a video call him over there. He's relaxing. He's in bed. I said, bloody hell, you look tired, son. What's going on? The workout what we did earlier tired you out? No, he said he's just chilling. He's in bed.
Tell us something. How's it going? What's happening?
Do you know what? I think he's fed up of me talking about it, but there's not really much I can say. Listen, he's okay. He was in the gym this morning. He's training regularly now. So, obviously, as we know, there's going to be frustration. But he's good.
What's the state of play now in regards to?
I don't know. Seriously, I can't even. I think he said enough's enough. You just leave it to the lawyers, let them deal with it. So I'd rather just not talk about it anymore and let them. Really, I was only saying the same thing I've been saying and echoing what Eddie's been saying anyway. Really.
I tried to bore you for half an hour, getting it out of you on radio.
You've got to look how the British public had turned around from hating Dylan to loving Dylan, and now this has happened. What they're doing is the British public are now fingers crossed thinking, I hope this guy gets off this route, and it's a mistake, because the public are behind it, because it's been unjust how his career's been gone. And now this on top of it, it breaks most fighters, but he's so upbeat. You see him walking his dog with his little picky hair. You need to tell him to cut his hair.
I'm sure he's got it for a reason. He'll be, you know what I mean?
Johnny, before you run off, and we have a chat.
That basically means he's kicking you out, basically.
No, before you run off, what's happening with Kell Brook at the moment?
Well, he's back in the gym training with Dominic Ingle, and so's Billy Joe Saunders.
Yes.
These boys are pack animals. Huh? And so when they left the gym, I said they'll be back. These are pack animals.
Billy Joe Saunders is back with Dom as well.
So I'm in the gym, I'm seeing these boys, I see them all train, I'm thinking, you're home again. That's when you produce your best. Success breeds success. You need competition in your gym. You need Kell sparring with Billy Joe, Kid Galahad, and all the boys coming through. That's home for them.
So he's not finished then?
No, he's not finished.
Brilliant.
He's ticking on. I'll get out of the way. Watch this move.
Go and earn proper money with Sky. We'll see you in a minute.
Step on in, Mr. White. Now listen, what have you been up? You spent so much time talking about your brother. What have you been up to?
I'm just working. I've got a few projects. I sorted out the stuff with Shakan. He's fighting on September the 14th for the English title on the Frank Warren bill right here. So guys, tune in, log in. You know what I mean? Come down. But I think it's sold out actually. But anyway, try and get a ticket if you can. Come and support Shakan. So, you know, just working with him, working with a few other fighters. Haven't sorted out the contracts with them, so I'm not going to talk about their names, but there's a few other guys I'm working with some bits now, just sorting out contracts. And just sorting out my music stuff. I'm doing a record label. There's loads of stuff. Trying to get onto his commentating. So there's loads of stuff. I'm very busy. And I'm in the gym.
I see you getting brolic. I see you cutting up.
Yeah, come on, man. You know what it is? I had an injury for a long time, and I've got over that now, so I'm able to train properly.
You're training for Eddie, aren't you?
Yeah, also that. Yeah, once the figures come, I'm all about money because, like I said, I'm getting old now. I'm not going to be doing anything for free, idly, you know what I mean? And just so right now, I'm just trying to get in shape, look after myself, eat, and be mentally, mind strong. And just trying to do as best as I can and be a decent person if I can.
Absolutely. Now, it's an absolutely stacked card on Saturday night.
What a card, mate.
What fight are you looking most forward to?
Do you know what? It's quite weird. I've been saying it the last couple of days. No one's talking about Povetkin and Hughie Fury. It might be a dark horse on the night. You've got a clash of styles. Hughie is someone that boxes, moves well. Some would say he stinks the place out. They don't like his boxing style. And then you've got Povetkin. He's seen it, done it, Olympian, former world challenger. But is he going to be getting old overnight? Is he going to be, is he going to be able to use his boxing IQ and move around the ring and use that jab? I don't know if it's going to be strong enough to keep him off because Joshua couldn't keep him off all night, and he's got a more solid jab.
That's what Johnny said.
So what you got to bear in mind is once he slips to come onto the line, that big left hook comes in the round. I don't know. We're going to see how Hughie does. But we've seen him. He's pretty good. He's crafty. He moves around the ring well. Let's see. But he went in there. He lost against Pulev, and he knocked out Pulev, I believe. I can't remember. So if you're looking at that, you go with him. But all credit to Hughie. Let's see what happens, man. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well, Dean, it's always a pleasure seeing you. We're going to catch you tomorrow at the press conference.
No, tomorrow I've got a business seminar tomorrow. I'm going to be mingling with some real elite people tomorrow.
So I don't get to match you with Eddie Hearn again tomorrow.
Yeah, no worries. Can't you see he's been in training? He's been in camp himself.
Friday I'll be back.
Charlie Edwards.
Friday we'll catch you at the weigh-in.
So,
all right.
Here it comes. It's Vasyl Lomachenko making his way to the ring. An extraordinary talent. I'll tell you all about him right now.
Oh yeah, let him know. Ring it off.
This is the guy, remember?
Yes. Listen, hold on, wait 1 second. Just listen to that sound. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Absolutely phenomenal. All right, Gareth, wax lyrical. Let's hear it.
I was just going to give him a little wave. No, I mean, the thing is, we're looking at one of the extraordinary talents in boxing right now.
We are indeed.
You know, one of the great guys, loved by the crowd. These are all die-hard boxing fans here right now.
And look, phones are up all over this place here. It's incredible.
He's going to show us some great things tonight, I'm sure. I'm sure he's going to show us some great stuff. Listen, he's a brilliant talent. This is a guy, remember, who had 400 amateur fights and only lost one of them, and even that was disputed. He won 2 Olympic gold medals, 3 weight divisions apart.
Yes.
And as a pro, he's had just 14 fights and has won world titles in 3 weight divisions, from featherweight to lightweight. He's already almost the unified lightweight champion of the world. They call him the Matrix. He seems unbeatable. He's even won in fights where he's made people quit. He's outboxed people. He's knocked them out. And he's even won after dislocating his shoulder during the fight. He is an extraordinary talent. And by the way, he's from Ukraine.
Listen to that. I've never seen so many phones up in the air. I've never heard so much noise. I mean,
well, Anthony Joshua, maybe that's a comparison.
Absolutely, but for a fight, I was going to say, you didn't let me finish. For a fighter that's not from the UK, it's incredible, isn't it?
There will be enormous support on Saturday night for Vasyl Lomachenko as a visiting fighter, because he is so skilled, because he's such a brilliant ambassador for the sport, because he's so loved by so many people. We need to treasure this guy while he's in our sport, because he's worthy of the highest accolades.
Do you think Eddie's kicking himself for only putting it at the O2 and not going for an arena?
Well,
because this fight absolutely sold out. It's sold out. I think it's the first sellout fight we've had this year.
Look, I mean, I think if they build him more, if there's a bigger fight, they could have. I think they could have gone for a football stadium. Given the weather at the moment, it would have been extraordinary. I think they could have easily gone for a smaller football ground, a 40,000, and it would have sold out. And we saw great nights recently at Allen Road, at other football grounds, and I think we could have done something like that. But, you know, the O2 Arena has an amazing atmosphere.
It does.
You know, it's a box office event. They wanted to fill the venue out. It's a big opportunity, though, for British fans to see this guy live in the UK, and that's what's extraordinary about it.
The atmosphere for you guys that are watching at home is absolutely electric in here. My heart is actually ripping out of my chest. You can just hear the fans behind us going absolutely crazy. And it's special because we're going to see this man on Saturday night.
Here's one of the things he does. Let's just have a little look at it.
Let's have a look at this.
Let's have a little look at what he's doing right now. Let's just have a little look. This is this extraordinary talent he's got with his tennis ball for putting the brilliant hand-eye coordination together. We've had a go at this, remember?
Oh, we have done.
And it's very, very
difficult. It is incredibly difficult. Me and Gareth both had a little session there with Anthony Joshua with that hat on. It was absolutely difficult. It was, oh, mate, absolutely unbelievable. I'm telling you, right now, Vasyl Lomachenko getting his, what's he get? Oh, he's got his balls out. He's got his balls out. Gareth has got his balls out. The juggling's on.
Here we go.
The balls are out. The juggling's on.
He is the circus acrobat of boxing. He's juggling. Do you know what? We got another. I wonder if I can throw this in. I wonder if I can throw this in. Loma, can you juggle? Let's see if he'll juggle a bottle while he's doing the three balls as well. You never know. Let's get in a bit nearer. Let's get in a little bit nearer.
Oh, he's gone for four balls.
There you go. He's gone
for four balls.
There you go. He's
gone for the big four.
This guy has balls. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Look.
There you go. Living proof that Vasyl Lomachenko has balls.
Such a special talent. Such an unbelievable, remarkable special talent in Vasyl Lomachenko. We spent some time with him, didn't we, for William Hill? We spent some time with him ahead of his fight week.
Yeah, and you'll see that this week. Check all our interviews out with Vasyl Lomachenko. I'm always encouraging him to speak more English. He's a great character, very confident. He's in his equivalent of the office right now, working away. Wait till he puts the gloves on and does a bit of work.
Just listen to the sound.
People are loving this, look, you know.
It's absolutely exceptional. It's exceptional.
He's signing gloves. Here's his manager, Egis Klimas, above us.
Having a little word with Sky, isn't he? He's having a little word over there with Sky.
Yeah.
Is that Anthony Crolla? No. Ah.
Signing, enjoying it, just relaxing.
Gareth, what would he be feeling right now?
Just really soaking it all up, enjoying being in the UK, enjoying being treated by a star, knowing that these are genuine, huge boxing fans here watching him, people that love the sport with their hearts and souls, and they're here, they cannot believe they are this close to their hero, and he's giving people, it's going to be like that all week.
For those that are wondering whether or not they should buy this fight on Saturday night, why should they pay to see this guy fight?
Because it's a showcase in what boxing's all about. He's one of those extraordinary talents. Everything he does is top-notch. The way he carries himself, what he's produced in the ring. You remember this when I told you about it. And he showed us when we were filming with him a few Sundays back. He even has his father's face tattooed on his body. Indeed. For the fact that his father has dedicated his life to Vasyl's career as a boxer. And, you know, those kind of things, yeah, are extraordinary. He's coming to us now, I believe, anyway.
Absolutely.
He's going to do a little interview with Dave Diamante, then he's coming over to us. Egis, great to see you here. Vasyl loves these things, doesn't he? He loves the real fans. Yeah, as we can see. Egis, his manager, as he said, he loves these things, loves these occasions. Sorry,
Absolutely loving it.
You know, the thing is, as Egis Klimas just told us then, his manager, you can see that Vasyl loves these occasions. He loves it when genuine boxing fans. He's not come out to see him. He's not a man given to boastfulness, or he loves the sport of boxing. He loves being involved. He loves partaking of these things.
Listen to that roar. One more thing, this fight is actually happening in Ukraine. It's absolutely unbelievable. These fans know they're in for a treat on Saturday night. They know that it's one of the only times that they're going to be able to see this man fight on these shores. We can hope, we can pray, we can beg, we can message Eddie and pray that we got him another time. But everyone knows that this may be one of the only times we may see him fight on these shores. The 31-year-old Ukrainian, known as the pound-for-pound best fighter on the planet at this moment.
Yeah, we're going to film Loma, Amy.
We're going
to film Loma when he comes. When Loma comes, we're going to film him. And I think he's going to be with us very soon.
Yes.
So tell your mates to come and watch the stream right now.
It's time to tune in.
Because Loma will be with us.
It's time to share this
very shortly.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Just listen to that roar. Listen to that sound.
Yeah, he's up there with Andy from Sky at the moment. He'll be down with us in a minute. I cannot wait. So let's have, what are the odds?
What are the odds? I'll let you know what the odds are. Lomachenko to win this fight is at 1-16. Overwhelming favourite. Draw is at 25-1. Luke Campbell to win this fight is at 8-1. Round by round betting, 28-1 in the first round, 20-1 in rounds 2 and 3. Rounds 4, 16-1. Round 5, 14-1. Round 6, 12-1. Rounds 7 and 8 are the shortest that we have at 10-1. 9, 16, 11, 20-1. Round 12, 25-1.
Well, I do think that my view is that Lomachenko will get to Campbell by the end of the fight. He'll either win comfortably on points, or he'll force a late stoppage between rounds 8 and 10. And I think he'll work Campbell out, and then he'll bring him into the mid to late rounds. Yes, Amy. Yeah. What's that? So we're waiting for Vasyl to join us shortly. I think he's doing a short interview with Sky. Oh no, I think he's coming over here now. Yeah, here he comes. Yeah, here he comes, and he's coming in to join. Here he is. Here's our guy. Hey. How are you, brother? Nice to see you. You all right?
Nice
Yeah.
to see you too.
Good.
Yeah.
You too. So
How was that?
I don't know. It's unbelievable. I can't believe.
Does it give you a feeling as if you're fighting at home?
You know, I fought 2013 in the same area. Yeah, with Samuel Maxwell, and it was the same situation with the fans. Then I came in the ring. I saw just Ukrainian flags and Ukrainian people, and it's unbelievable.
because we were saying you're a very modest man. You're not boastful. You're very modest, yeah. But when you see the real boxing fan here, who feel you as a hero, is it a nice feeling?
Yeah, it's a special feeling, you know. I believe, you know, я делал.
Yeah, let's have Egis in as well. Let's have Egis in.
I did it right before, you know. Fans love me, they respect me. I'm on the right way. Yeah.
Well, because I want to say, and I want Egis to translate this. We were saying, we have to celebrate you in our sport now, because everything you do is right. The way you box, the way you carry yourself, the way you're an ambassador, in every way. So we must celebrate your time in boxing.
Мы должны праздновать твое время в боксе, потому что все, что ты делаешь правильно.
You know, maybe, but you know, it's not depends only about, you know, celebrate. It depends from. I can't explain in English. Sorry. Я делаю это действительно для фанов. Я делаю для гурманов бокса действительно. Это я делаю для людей, кто любит и уважает бокс.
I really do that for my fans. I really do for people who enjoy boxing. I really do for people who understand boxing. That's what I really do for them.
Yes. So, Saturday night, you go against Luke Campbell. What's your feelings on this fight? How's preparations gone?
Special show from you?
Not special show. Yeah, because I everything think about my future result. I everything think about result. But if I find the key, of course I show a little bit show.
Do you ever predict how you're going to win the fight?
I think it will be very hard fight because he has a reach. He has a very big experience, amateur experience. He is a smart guy. He has a high boxing IQ. He is very technical guy. It will be chess match.
He has a long body.
How do you know?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
We'll take your word for it.
That's a tip? Is that the tip?
Well, listen, you're a very, very big favourite in this fight, yeah? Even to stop him. Most people think between rounds 8 and 10.
I never think about what happened. KO, TKO, or no mass, or score. I never think. I need just win.
With an atmosphere like that, after Saturday night, can we hope to see you again in London?
It depends your boxers from Great Britain.
Yeah, exactly.
If we have a good boxer from Great Britain in my weight classes, no problem.
We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much.
care,
Cheers, brother.
Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you, Egis. See you tomorrow.
Egis, take care.
Thank you.
See you.
Isn't he amazing? So modest, so brilliant. You can feel the presence.
You can feel it.
He's got a presence. You know,
there's an air of greatness. There's an air of greatness about him.
We see it with Anthony Joshua. You saw it with Vladimir Klitschko. I've been around Muhammad Ali even in my time. The great boxers, they have a presence. They're always being hurried on to the next thing, but they've always got time for you.
Indeed.
And they make you feel special. And that's what's great about these people.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Now, guys, thanks for keeping it locked and plugging in with us all day today. If you've got loads of friends that haven't seen this, share the link, let them know about it. We've got loads of content coming out all week as well. And give me just 1 second. Listen, tell them, what other fight should they be looking forward to on that undercard?
Well, obviously, Vasyl Lomachenko and Luke Campbell's a brilliant fight. Hughie Fury against Alexander Povetkin is a really intriguing battle. Charlie Edwards, we've seen him earlier, against Aguilar of Mexico. It's going to be a brilliant fight, that one. Joshua Buatsi against Ryan Ford. We've seen those two guys today. So many great fights on the card. Joe Cordina even in an all-Welsh battle against Gwynne. It's going to be a great card. What have you got for us?
Listen, what have I got for you? I've got something else for you, mate.
Go on then, bring it.
I've got Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell's still coming. Where is he at?
Oh, you closed the show early. That's what it was. You closed the show.
You was going to let me close it as well.
Well, no, I was thinking...
You was going to let me close it.
No, I was thinking, where is Cool Hand Luke? We haven't spoken to Cool Hand Luke yet. And it is important that we do speak to him.
Absolutely.
Because he's not an afterthought in this event.
Not in the slightest.
And listen, Loma, doing what he wants to do, he was so made up by the way these fans are, so made up, it really genuinely meant something. He doesn't need to go and do that. He doesn't need to go and speak to everyone over there. He was so made up by him, he wanted to go and greet the fans, much to the chagrin, if I can say, of the security team, because they wanted him out of here.
Give me a synonym for that.
Chagrin, much to the disgust and unhappiness.
Chagrin.
Yeah.
Is that a French? Is that
Chagrin?
Chagrin.
Yeah.
All right, that's a new one for your vocab. You know what I'm saying? That's a new
we've got
one.
a couple of words, algorithm and chagrin.
Algorithm chagrin.
I'll promise you 2 new words every show this week.
All right, okay, I'm going to pick you up on that for sure.
Let's get Adam Smith in a minute.
All right.
Let's get
Adam, let's pull him in.
From Sky Sports. Adam, hi, how are you?
How are you, right?
Yeah, not too bad.
How you doing?
I'm just saying, come in here. You and I have been around this game a long time.
We have.
Vasyl just gave us a little bit of time, and these guys...
I thought that was great.
Yeah, well, what I was about to say was that these guys who are very special in boxing, when they give you time, and they're always being moved on, aren't they? They make you feel very special. The Joshuas, the Alis, the Tysons, the Tyson Furies. Lomachenko doing a backtrack to go and see the fans. We see that from people like Joshua. You know why? Because his heart's been touched by the fans, no?
Very much so. And also wanted to see Anthony Crolla stopping and wanting to get over to him. You know, that was fantastic to see.
That was brilliant.
So he literally just stopped his people and said, I want to go and see him. So No, he is. He was born to do this, and I think the reaction at York Hall's been phenomenal tonight.
He's special, isn't he?
He is special, and it's a special place. You know, we've been here so many times. It's a spiritual home of British boxing, and I'm sure he knows all about it. But to have Vasily Lomachenko here in the building is magical, and I think the fans are never going to forget this night. It's wonderful that he's going to see them. And yeah, he's a special fighter. He's a special guy.
Definitely.
Without a shadow of a doubt. I know you're a big-time cricket fan as well.
Massive.
You saw that on Sunday?
Massive cricket fan. I was watching
Did Ben Stokes beat Lomachenko?
I was watching every second of it. Ben Stokes has been invited ringside on Saturday night. So has Stuart Broad. I know Stuart a bit, so I've said, look, if they want to come along. I'm sure Ben will be escaping with his family for a few days of rest. But it's the Ashes, isn't it? Goes on, so he's got to concentrate on that. What a wonderful, wonderful, iconic sporting moment on Sunday. Having won the Cricket World Cup just a few weeks ago, for Ben to go and do that and an innings like that, quite phenomenal. So great cricket. Rory Mackerel as well, winning a few quid later that night over in the States. So the Brits are doing well. And now can Luke Campbell do something on Saturday night? That would be a huge upset. We expect Lomachenko to come through, but you know, Campbell's a good fighter in his own right.
Absolutely. What are the chances of him actually doing well on Saturday night? And what does doing well look like for him?
Listen, I mean, Luke's very confident he's going to pull off the big upset. The people around him are, you know, Shane McGuigan, Barry McGuigan, George Groves. Luke's a very good fighter in his own right. Wonderful amateur for Britain. You know, he came close against Linares. But, you know, is this guy an elite fighter? Is this guy the best fighter since a Mayweather, since a Leonard? You know, Lomachenko's lost one in, what, 396 as an amateur, three-weight world champion. It's just a sprinkling of professional fights. It's going to take something monumental for Luke to win this fight, and it's going to take something monumental for Vasily Lomachenko to lose it. But listen, we wish him well.
Absolutely, and obviously we've got a pretty stacked up undercard as well. Which one of those undercard fights are you most excited and looking forward to?
Fury Povetkin, no question about it. Can't wait for a big heavyweight fight. Charlie Edwards in a tough fight as well. Always good to see Buatsi. And a special one for me, my former scholar at Sky Sports, Savannah Marshall. Finally joining Matchroom and Sky. Really excited about that.
Absolutely. Well, Adam, thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Mr. A. Davies. Well, the main man has stepped into the ring. Mr.
Hello.
Luke Campbell has now stepped into the arena, into the forum.
And sadly, I've now realised tonight...
What have you realised?
He is going to be feeling like the away fighter on Saturday night, because the noise stopped when Lomachenko left and Luke came in. He's not going to get booed into the ring on Saturday night, but Lomachenko is going to get cheered to the rafters, and Lomachenko is going to feel like he is at home in this fight. It's an extraordinary thing. We rarely see it when an overseas fighter comes here and they're so loved. I remember I did a show with Floyd Mayweather at the NEC, or one of the arenas in Birmingham, an after dinner thing with Floyd Mayweather, and he is so popular that when an overseas fighter comes here, they're treated like a pop star or a film icon, it wasn't till tonight. There's only about 300-400 people here, but they are so rabidly into Vasily Lomachenko.
They're coming to see him. They are, without a shadow of a doubt, they are coming to see him. And that's not nothing bad on all of the other fighters on the card. And the truth is, every other fighter on the card can only seek to benefit from that in terms of putting on a stellar performance and winning fans on the night. But the vast majority of fans are coming in to see Lomachenko at work on Saturday night.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, I just hope for the fans that it isn't done so quickly in 2 or 3 rounds, because this guy's capable of anything. He's capable of finishing someone so quickly, so viciously. You know, it's a perilous fight for Luke Campbell. It's a high-risk, high-reward fight, because if he goes well in it, you know, if he wins, we will get that stadium rematch here. That's what will happen.
Listen, I would so love for that to happen.
It'd be amazing.
I love Lomachenko, but I just want him to come back. Already, the fight hasn't even happened yet, and I want him back.
Campbell would go down as, if he wins, as one of them. He doesn't see it this way, and we'll speak to him in a minute. But it would go down as one of the great upsets in boxing history. He would become a real legend in British boxing if he wins on Saturday night.
In global boxing, quite like a Buster Douglas in that essence, a name that would forever be read.
It'd be Andy Ruiz against Anthony Joshua.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
You know, Tyson Fury, Vladimir Klitschko, Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson. It would be spoken about, or it'd be headlined about in that kind of way. Luke Campbell will be celebrated, not in the scale that Ben Stokes was when he won the test match ring the other day, but it would be seen as a near miracle.
Amongst boxing fans, absolutely.
As a near miracle,
yeah,
exactly.
Without a shadow of a doubt. In the heart of and the mind of Luke Campbell, we're going to speak to him shortly, so we're going to know this directly. How do you think he feels about this fight?
No, he utterly believes he can win it. He knows he's got the same amateur pedigree. The opponent in comparison, Jorge Linares, has obviously been beaten by Lomachenko, but
very tough fight though. Very tough.
Very tough fight. But Campbell lost to him, of course, in a very close fight as well. So we know that there are, you know, if you compare those two fights, that there is a distinction. We know how talented Lomachenko is. I spoke earlier to Spencer Oliver and to Matthew Macklin, and we all agreed that Linares, it was a lefty, it was a southpaw, set certain problems for Lomachenko.
Yes.
Campbell may be able to do the same thing. So it may be a tougher fight than most people believe until Lomachenko manages to work him out, and he will. That's the problem. They don't call him the Matrix. They don't talk about his algorithms in that way for no reason. It's founded, utterly founded, on a 10-year amateur career, 400 fights, David. He lost once, and that's disputed. The judges were apparently biased against him. 2 Olympic golds, 8 years apart, 3 weight divisions apart, 14 professional fights, 3 weight world champion. It's unbelievable, you know. So, you know, they're even talking that he may go up to 140 pounds. I get my weight's wrong tonight, wasn't I? I corrected that sooner. I got into the trenches. Cordina slapped me around a little bit. He gave me a little dig on this side, and I got myself back. He could possibly go up to like welterweight, or as they now call it, super lightweight at 140 pounds. It's possible, but he's already a small 135 pounder. He's an extraordinary talent. We'll make the most of it this week. We spoke to him earlier. If you're just catching this now, go back and watch Loma and how brilliant he was with us, how he remembers everyone. We just did half an hour with him. I mean, I've known him for a few years, but he did half an hour with us a few weeks ago.
Absolutely.
And he was like old pals with you, wasn't he? It was like he was from South London.
Yeah, this is from the ends. Listen, he is from the ends.
Well, we're waiting for Luke Campbell, who will join us very shortly. And remember, we're going to be here all week, me and Cheeky Dave, all week. Press conference, weigh in. Dave will do his show on the night on Saturday. I'll take over the Instagram.
Indeed.
We'll bring you all the stars. As Adam revealed, Ben Stokes, Stuart Broad, Rory McIlroy.
Stars.
All the stars are out.
Studded.
And that's what big time boxing creates.
Absolutely.
All the big stars want to be there. Brad Pitt's coming.
Brad?
You know? Brad Pitt's coming.
Yeah, P. Diddy's flying over us all in
DiCaprio.
Yep, in the private jet.
Leo DiCaprio right over there.
I see him.
There he is. One of our crew is masquerading as Leo DiCaprio. We've got Steven Spielberg behind us.
As always.
Scorsese's over there. We've got a Sergei Kovalev lookalike.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
We've got so many people here wanting to be here as part of the big occasion on Saturday night.
It is going to be absolutely phenomenal. And on top of that, Gareth, the undercard is absolutely phenomenal, isn't it? We've got Fury Povetkin. We've got Buatsi on the undercard. We've got Edwards, Martinez. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Who are you waving at, Gareth? Gareth, they want to know. Crawler. Yeah, let's get you for a second. Yeah.
I just wanted to bring Anthony in. Hi, Anthony. How
I'm
you
good,
doing?
I'm good.
How amazing was it that guy went and sought you out tonight, Vasyl Lomachenko?
Yeah, no, it was a lot nicer being on that side of the ring with him,
I bet.
rather than this. But no, listen, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. I remember after the fight, we come in the changing rooms after it.
I got him to apologise at the press conference as well, by the way.
That means a lot. No, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. I've said earlier, like, the language barrier you can't get it across as much, but listen, I speak to his team and that, and how he treats his people, who he grew up with. He stayed the same guy, and now he's a real good guy.
You can't call it a privilege when you get knocked out by someone, but and I don't mean privilege, but you will look back in years to come with a pipe and slippers with those 100 coffee bars that you're going to have, me and you. Crawler Davis coffee bars. I mean, I'm adding myself to the comment
You
now.
see that? You see that?
You will say to the great-grandchildren, that guy there, watch him.
Was one of the all-time greats.
And I fought him.
Yes, yeah, I might not show him the fight, but yeah, that's what I was saying. Listen, yeah, you know, something now, even now really, but certainly in a few more times, I'll be privileged to look back and think, yeah, I was in the ring with him.
What will Luke Campbell be? I mean, weirdly, everyone seems to be here for Lomachenko, and it went silent when Luke walked in.
Yes.
What will he be thinking going into Saturday night? Like he's fighting away from home?
A little bit. Listen, he's got to be prepared for that, and I think he'll be. Listen, Luke will have good support in there Saturday night, but you know, it's not being disrespectful in any way. The reason that O2 arena, which is a big arena to sell out, is because of Lomachenko, and I think Luke knows that, and his team know that, so they expect him to have great support. I remember in November, I mean, the most response for Tony Bellew. Usyk had a little bit
in Liverpool,
in Manchester,
sorry, yeah.
So you've seen a lot of Ukrainians. I think on Saturday you might be surprised just how much Ukrainian support is in that arena.
What is he going to need to do to solve the Rubik's Cube?
I mean, like I said, I'm not sure I'm the right guy to ask, but I think he's got to use those long levers as is, and he's got to keep it long. He's got to look to try and establish that southpaw jab, and I believe that he's got to drive that backhand home when he can, as much as he can, get Loma's respect early, and I think Luke's got to start fast.
Absolutely. What other fights on the card excite you?
Charlie Edwards' fight, I think it's going to be a belter. Really looking forward to it. I always love watching Joshua Buatsi. And mate, you with Fury Povetkin, that's a big night for him. And
That's
I believe
a
if
really
he gets it
intriguing
right,
fight. We've been saying it all night.
If he gets it right, I believe he can cause the upset. Next, it would be an upset. I believe he can do that. And
so you have Povetkin as the favourite, clearly.
yeah, I think you've got to have Povetkin
Here we
as
go.
the
We've got
favourite.
Luke coming over.
But I believe that we'll see Hughie cause an upset on points.
Brilliant.
Absolutely. Well, $1 million. Thank you so much,
Mr. Crawler.
See you soon.
Good. Yeah, hi, Luke, how are you?
Good, yeah.
Brilliant. Come on in.
How's it going, Luke?
You just said to Crawler he put a bit of weight on. Is that is that'll dig at him? Your rival's still, aren't you?
I thought it was a lightweight, but obviously not.
Oh, yeah, it was a compliment then, was it?
Yeah, it was a compliment, yeah.
So, you've experienced some of what it's going to be like on Saturday night at the O2. You'll have support, but he seems to have support as well because he's well loved.
Yeah. No, definitely. He's a class fighter. He's going to have that loyal boxing fan support, and but there's a lot of people that want to see him. But I think there's a lot of people there that will cheer for their own boy.
Absolutely. What's preparations been like ahead of this fight?
Yeah, great. I mean, it can't have gone any better, really. We've had a fantastic camp, prepared well, and everything's gone as smooth as it can go.
Do you like the fact, I've known you a long time, I've been saying tonight how you're our most decorated amateur on record, you won the same Olympic gold as he has done, you have you're a southpaw, Linares a southpaw, gave him problems. Your fight with Linares was very, very close.
Linares was an orthodox, so sorry to interrupt, but Linares was orthodox.
Sorry, he's had problems with southpaws in the past, is what I mean. I'm off. Pedraza, sorry, yeah. I've been off form tonight.
Yeah, he's been off finger a little bit.
I have. Pedraza gave him some issues because he does struggle with some southpaws. So, do you feel that you've been almost kind of you can sneak under the radar here in this fight, where people say, Luke's going to lose and he's going to get stopped, and does that kind of push you to the wall and go, here we go, this is great?
I mean, listen, if I was to believe other people's opinions, I'd never be in the situation I'm in today. I've been the underdog, believe it or not, a lot of my career, especially in the amateurs, and some in the pro, and I can go to bed at night, I can sleep at night. And that's for a reason, because I know what work I put in, and I know how the preparation is and how I'm performing.
The question that everybody's going to want to ask is, how do you stop a man like Vasyl Lomachenko?
Hit him hard.
And keep hitting him.
Absolutely. Luke, we're going to be with you all week.
Yeah.
It's been absolutely fantastic talking to you today.
Thank you.
And
thank you
good
very
luck on
much.
Saturday night.
Thank you.
Yeah,
See you
cheers.
soon.
Thank
See
you
you
very
soon.
much.
Cheers. There you go.
There you go. So
Hit him hard.
you can close the show now. We've spoken to Luke. He looks very confident. tense. I like that.
Yes.
I like it when Luke's tense because I remember, I've been around him a lot, and when he gets into fight week, he gets into a certain mode. It gets very hard in his head. My apologies for being a bit off tonight. I've been in hospital for a while. I'm back on tomorrow.
Top form.
Just easing back in today.
Listen,
and it's very, very warm in here.
Just sprinkling a little bit of salt on you guys. I mean, tomorrow will be well seasoned.
Even Cheeky Dave is sweating tonight.
Yeah, profusively. But listen, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been absolutely epic. Like I said before, make sure you share this link. There's been absolutely everything going on today. We've had Lomachenko, we've had Josh Buatsi, we've had Edwards, both Edwards brothers. We've had Eddie Hearn, indeed. And loads more. Keep it locked.
Them all again tomorrow.
Keep it locked to all the socials. We got loads of stuff coming out all of fight week. It is Lomachenko versus Campbell Saturday night live at the O2.
Dave.
Gareth A. Davis.
We'll see you tomorrow.